Life can be challenging. We all want to be there for others, but in our desire to help, sometimes we overextend ourselves. Generosity, sharing, and acting with virtue are essential to building a strong character, teachings we learn from Stoicism. However, it's crucial to set healthy boundaries and not sacrifice ourselves in the process. Stoicism has taught me to think clearly and thrive in life, regardless of circumstances. By establishing healthy limits in our lives, we can continue to be generous while also taking care of ourselves. Let's strive to be kind to others while also being kind to ourselves. Thank you for taking the first step on your journey to improve your life through Stoicism by watching this video. If you're new here, please like and subscribe to the channel. Only 2% of my audience is subscribed, so if this content has helped you in any way, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell. As the philosopher Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." True freedom comes from courageously setting boundaries. Lesson 1. Don't burn yourself out for others. The Stoic philosophers taught that we should live virtuously. However, virtue does not mean sacrificing ourselves. I once heard a story that illustrates this well. A horse and donkey were friends. The horse worked hard each day plowing fields, while the donkey relaxed. Wanting to help his friend, the donkey suggested the horse pretend to be sick. When the farmer discovered the horse refusing to work, he ordered the donkey to plow instead. That evening, the overworked donkey lamented to the rested horse, "I wanted to help you, but now I'm the one bearing your burdens." We must consider if helping someone means taking on their responsibilities. True generosity empowers others without expecting praise or reciprocity. As Marcus Aurelius said, "What we do now echoes in eternity." Our actions ripple outward. We must pause and reflect before rushing to assist others. Lesson 2. Reciprocity has an expiration date. When we give freely, reciprocity cannot be demanded or expected. But how often do we secretly keep score, feeling hurt when generosity goes unacknowledged? The Stoics teach that we cannot control others' responses. We only control our reactions. Expecting reciprocation leads to resentment when hopes are unmet. It's better to give without strings attached, finding satisfaction in service itself. As Epictetus said, "Do not seek to have things happen as you want them to, but instead want them to happen as they do happen, and your life will go well." Accepting reality as it unfolds prevents unnecessary suffering. Next lesson. Boundaries guard your well-being. Centuries ago, royalty relied on servants to dress them. Today, how often do people ask you for favors they could easily do themselves? Human nature looks for the easiest path. The Stoic virtue of moderation helps us discern reasonable assistance from limitless demands, threatening our well-being. Doing for others what they can do themselves also stunts their growth. I'm reminded of a story about an elderly mother caring for her middle-aged disabled daughter. For years, the mother attended to her daughter's every need. Tragically, when the mother suddenly died, the daughter resumed life independently, proving she was far more capable than believed. As Emperor Marcus Aurelius said, "A man's job is to stand upright, not be kept upright by others." We must encourage self-reliance in others. Next, excessive kindness invites exploitation. Giving freely expresses love, but taken too far, it backfires, portraying you as a pushover. People may use and take advantage if you never say no. Stoicism develops unshakable inner strength and self-discipline. Establishing boundaries earns respect. The simple word no transforms others' perception of you from a servant to an equal worthy of dignity. You become someone who values themselves enough to set limits. As Cicero said, "What you think of yourself means much more than what others think of you." Self-respect must come before external validation. Next lesson, discern true friends. Pay attention to people's actions, not empty words. Stoicism's discernment reveals who genuinely cares versus those only interested when they need something. By directing kindness only toward appreciative recipients, you conserve emotional energy and surround yourself with reciprocal relationships. As Seneca said, "He who begins to be your friend because of benefit will also cease because of benefit." True bonds see beyond gain. Lesson number 6. Prioritize responsibilities. Getting swept up in others' crises leaves no time for self-care. Falling behind on health, relationships, even hygiene diminishes life's richness. The Stoic path cultivates our best selves through self-mastery. Helping at the expense of our own obligations leads nowhere good. Imagine standing in an airplane emergency. You must secure your oxygen mask first before assisting others. Likewise, attending to our needs gives us the resources to then uplift others powerfully. As Epicurus said, "The wealth required by nature is limited and is easy to procure, but the wealth required by vain ideals extends to infinity." Simplicity and moderation keep life balanced. Lesson 7. Self-care is not selfish. Serving others can conceal painful inner dynamics like low self-worth or fear of disappointing people. By avoiding quiet solitude, we evade confronting our shadows. The temporary relief of busyness eventually catches up through burnout, emptiness, even illness. Stoicism prescribes living true to our authentic desires, not assumed expectations. Establish boundaries without shame or apology. You enrich others most by first nourishing your spirit. As Cicero said, "The life given us by nature is short, but the memory of a well-spent life is eternal." Self-honoring choices reverberate through time. Next lesson, challenge perceptions respectfully. Transitions can be uncomfortable. As you relinquish the role of on-call helper, people may resist the new you who speaks up about limits and says no when appropriate. Misunderstandings easily arise. The Stoics urge compassion for human fallibility. While firmly maintaining boundaries, do so with patience, empathy, and care for all involved. Explain reasons clearly and allow people time to adjust. Progress of the spirit happens gradually through ongoing daily practice. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Judgment and assumptions obscure reality's complexity." Next lesson is, let go of expectations. Despite feeling hurt when excluded by those you've helped, avoid resentment. People usually befriend others sharing their values and interests. By letting go of unrealistic expectations in relationships, you liberate yourself from unnecessary pain. Life mirrors nature's 4 seasons. Just as the glorious colors of autumn fade into winter, then spring eventually returns, so too friendships and fortunes naturally evolve. Clinging to one temporary phase only creates sorrow. Accept impermanence with equanimity. As Heraclitus said, "Change is the only constant in life. Nothing lasts forever." Lesson 10 is to develop the wisdom to separate truth from illusion. Direct generosity toward reciprocal relationships. When treated unfairly, withdraw, not from anger, but self-respect. By learning to say no, you train others how to regard you. Establish kind yet unmoving boundaries. Discernment also illuminates internal dynamics. Explore why excessive giving drains rather than uplifts you. Heal distorted self-perceptions, still echoing old fears from childhood. Then offer assistance purely from your true self, without inner conflict. As Shakespeare wrote, "This above all, to thine own self be true." Loyalty to your soul's wisdom fosters authentic living. Next lesson. Identify relationship patterns. Some friends genuinely appreciate you, while others only take. Notice who reciprocates kindness over time versus those endlessly needing yet never progressing. Relationships should energize both parties, not just drain one. The ancient philosopher Epicurus described friendship as an arrangement that enhances the delight of life. Evaluate your connections. Do they fill or deplete you? Direct giving toward uplifting channels. Withdraw from one-sided parasitic links. Activize your own thriving. Lesson 12. Set aside self-care time. Today's hectic pace leaves little space for replenishment. Make yourself the priority by scheduling relaxing activities solely for you. Whether soaking in a bubbly bath, sipping tea while reading an inspiring novel, or wandering through nature, make it a regular, untouchable appointment. Tune out digital distractions to connect with your true self. Honor inner longings hidden beneath constant busyness. By frequently recharging your battery, you gain strength to then powerfully serve others. Consider self-care a crucial pillar of balanced living, not a luxury. As the old saying goes, you can't pour from an empty cup. Attend to your needs first. Last lesson, live purposefully. Walking the Stoic path develops unshakable inner peace, allowing you to thrive despite external chaos. By mastering emotions through reason, you gain incredible personal power. Gradually shape your days around purpose and meaning rather than default obligation. Design a life uniquely suited to your authentic soul. As Seneca said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Limiting fearful, false projections opens new horizons. I hope reflecting on these ideas inspires your journey toward inner freedom and deep fulfillment. Have courage, my friends, to carefully direct your precious life energy. Discover joyful contentment through balanced self-giving.